Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing week. Currently it is Friday, so it's the end of the week and the markets are currently still consolidating right here. As you can see, Bitcoin is right now testing that value area high right here. As you can see, it's currently trying to break above it, so it tested it twice. As you can see right here, it got hit once and currently it's testing it once again right now, trying to get above it, but is still getting rejected from that value area high right here. So basically it's a very big resistance for now in this consolidation pattern right here that we are forming. And also, as I said in my last video, once we did reclaim that value area low and POC, as you can see right here, basically the next target will be that value area high, and that's exactly what happened. Basically that's on the 4-hour time frame. So yesterday we were here, only printed that candle, or that was the 12-hour time frame. So basically we started printing this 12-hour candle right here, and I said that once this candle closes above that value area low and that POC, the next target will be that value area high. So as you can see, the volume profile too is very correct. Basically it got a perfect test of that value area high, so that was a nice 1.5% move, as you can see, and we are currently getting rejected from exactly this level. So what's next for Bitcoin? Basically I'm still expecting a chop right here over the weekend, or it's possible that we get a dump once again to test that weekly pivot at around 100k, almost 101k. Basically because the weekends can be very easily manipulated, so basically the price can easily go down or up in some cases, but as of right now in this range, in my opinion, there is a big possibility that we get a push to the downside during the weekend, and then if we manage to hold that weekly pivot, then basically we can find support here and bounce back, try to break above that value area high once again, and then we can look above for that next weekly resistance, and also the second weekly resistance at around 108k. So basically why I'm thinking that we'll get a pullback during the weekend is because this move is getting shorted. As you can see, CVD is going down, so basically our delta is going down while our open interest is going up. So this tells me there are people are shorting this. Basically in this range right here, shorts are opening. And also if we look at our liquidation heat map, as you can see, our most liquidity is, as I said, to the upside. That's why I'm still thinking that the move will be up, but probably as of next week, basically we might get just a continuation of this chop right here during the weekend. And maybe we do take out the liquidity below firstly to around 101, or maybe down here to around 100k, basically right here, exactly where our weekly pivot is sitting. So that's why I'm thinking firstly it's possible that we go down and take out this liquidity, test that weekly pivot again, and then we get our real move to the upside once the new trading week starts. So basically as of right now, very choppy price action, but remember, the bigger the time we spend chopping right here, the bigger the next move will be. So if we zoom out on the 8-hour, for example, and we look at targets to the upside, basically 112k, 113k are very possible targets. Also a strong resistance, strong pivot resistance right here, almost 8.5% pump to the upside. So basically if we take for example a trend line and we measure that move that we broke out of this chop right here, basically if we put that move right here once again, as you can see, this takes us up to a new all-time high of around 111k. So basically, once this chop breaks above it, then exactly these pivots right here at around 111, 112k, these are my targets for now. That's a pretty significantly big move of about almost 8%, as you can see. And also, the stock market is very bullish. Once again, as I said, we are currently still in that, above that trend line, and still in that pattern right here that I told you about. As long as we do not break that trend line to the downside, basically the trend is still up. And also we're currently approaching the last weekly pivot resistance, as I talked about yesterday while we were here. And I said that the stock market, also in my last previous videos, that it's only getting like very small, 0.5% move, like as you can see, and basically it's just grinding slowly to the upside. If we go on a higher time frame, you can see we are slowly approaching the all-time highs of the stock market once again. That will be another almost 3.5, almost 4% move to the all-time highs for the stock market. So basically, if the stock market manages to get above or to get back to the all-time highs, then I'm pretty confident that Bitcoin will also make, or at least touch, the all-time high, or even make new all-time highs. Basically, very bullish as of right now, even though our RSI was very much in the oversold zone. But basically this chop pattern right here, as you can see, it gives our RSI indicator time to cool off, and then for another push to the upside. Basically, that's what I'm seeing right here, because these indicators, they need to cool off before we get another move up. And basically how they cool off is with a move to the downside, like right here, or a choppy price action. Then the indicators do get that cool off, and then we go up once again. So basically I'm keeping an eye on that. And also we did have over 100 million again of ETF inflows as of today. So this week is also very bullish in for the big companies that are buying Bitcoin. As you can see, the ETFs, they've been accumulating every day millions of dollars of Bitcoin. And also we still got that positive funding rate. As you can see, it has not yet flipped negative, only on some exchanges, but on the bigger exchanges, as you can see, basically the funding rate is still positive for Bitcoin. So this gives me hope that these targets right here that I'm talking about, they will get hit very soon, in my opinion, maybe until the end of the month or at the beginning of the next one. And then after these targets get hit, then we can look for some kind of rejection, maybe from here, or maybe even up here. If the stock market continues to go up, then 120k for Bitcoin is pretty easy target, and then we can look for some kind of rejection from there. But as of right now, I'm not in any short positions, and basically I'm expecting more upside for Bitcoin. Now if we look at Ethereum, as you can see, Ethereum currently is back below that weekly pivot resistance, acting once again as strong resistance. Also right now getting back below that value area high, that red line. As you can see, we're currently below it, and our next target for a bounce will be right here from that POC, or maybe even at around almost 2400 from that value area low once again. Then we can look at something like this, or maybe it can test our weekly pivot, since our weekly pivot did not get tested actually. As you can see here, we front ran it from like a couple of percent, like 2.5%. We did front run that weekly pivot, so it's very possible that Ethereum will probably hit that weekly pivot. That will be a significantly big move to the downside of around 9%. but still it's very possible that it will get hit if we break down that POC level right here. Then it's very possible that we move down another 6% and hit that weekly pivot. Also, if we look at Solana did perfectly bounce 2 times from our weekly pivot, as you can see, and it's currently heading back to test it once again. So it's also very possible that we get another bounce from here, or maybe Solana will try to even test the weekly pivot support, as you can see, at around $153, and then we can try and test that weekly pivot, get above it, then go once again for that weekly resistance test, and then once we break above it, then the next target will be at around 203 or $192 for Solana. But as you can see, with the pivot points, guys, you can take a really easy trades and also risk-free. Basically, if you take a long position at that support, put your stop loss below it and target that weekly pivot. If we get down here, then basically this will be a 8.5% move while you're only risking 3%. So basically very good risk to reward ratio, if you ask me. And this is how you can easily calculate your risk to reward and also your stop loss based on these pivot points, because they are very accurate, and not many people are using them because they do not know. And for example, also right here, if right now it's not actually a good idea from right here to take a trade, since if we draw our range, basically you can see we are at that value area low. So right here it's currently not recommended to take a short position, for example, at that value area low. You could have looked for a short position above it, or once we got below it, then you could have looked and also targeted that weekly pivot. But as of right now, your next trade right here would be a long from that weekly pivot with your stop loss below it. For example, you can do something like this. If the price gets down here, then you can put your stop loss 3%, and then you can target once again that weekly resistance one, while once again risking just 3% to gain 8.5, almost 9%. So basically risk to reward ratio is very good, as you can see. And these are the kinds of trade that you can take using these pivot points and the volume profile indicator. So basically very little risk and a very big reward. That's what everybody is looking for, and these indicators, they help you do that. So you can check them out. I will soon do a video tutorial how to set them up, how to set them up exactly, and also change the properties so they work for you like they do for me. But I will do that in another video. And also, if we look at SUI, for example, SUI is currently testing that weekly pivot. If we extend our range here, you can see we're currently breaking below that value area low. So basically right here, once again, we can look for that long position while putting our stop 3%, and then targeting again that value area high, or even above it, that weekly resistance right here. So you can see basically you're risking 3% to gain 10. A very good trade setup. Basically you would want to look for some kind of confirmation, like on the lower time frame you want to see your RSI hit that oversold region, or on the 45 minutes also still it has not hit it. So basically I would wait for a fake out to the downside, or maybe even it is possible that SUI can test that weekly pivot support right here. That will be significantly bigger move to the downside, but then once we get right here, then you can look for this long, and you can target back up to that weekly pivot or even that weekly resistance one. Then this will be a significantly bigger move, and you also make more gains on it if you are patient to get that perfect entry down here. But for right now, I'm still not recommending trading also during the weekend hours, since there is not much volatility and you just get chopped out. So basically I'm waiting for the next week. And also, let's see, for gold is currently still in that downtrend back from when I gave you that zone right here, where we found a perfect rejection, and since then gold has been going down significantly. So this is also bullish. If gold continues to go down, then Bitcoin will continue to go up basically. So this is what I'm expecting. As I said, these are my price targets right here, 112, 113 for the next week, or maybe the next couple of weeks, once we break out of this consolidation pattern right here. So basically these are my targets, and I hope you liked the video and subscribe for more. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.